Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 57 of the Walk with Ethan Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Ethan Black. Today, we're going to cover the two remaining shows from Sunday, July 30th. That'll be the Tokyo Joshi Somersault Drop Show and also NXT's Great American Bash, and also double D shows from Monday, July 31st through Thursday, August 3rd. Excuse me. So, we'll just get right into it right now. So, we'll kick it off the first two Sunday shows with the Tokyo Joshi Somersault Drop one. So, we had Maya Watanabe defeating Harai, fake name backbreaker, in a tag team match. Raku and Moka Miyamoto defeating Hikari Noah and Toga by submission via front neck lock. So it's Tokyo Joshi. And we'll go over to NXT's Great American Bash. It was live on, so that's why I get a chance to do it, but would better late than never. So we get over to our only pre-show match on the show, 8-person tag team match. Heritage Cup champion Nathan Frazier, Dragon Lee, Valtan Ferraz, and Luis Leon versus the Metaphor, Noam Dar, or Mensa, Last Legend, Jericho Jackson. So Frazier and Dar start the match off. They trade takedowns for Frazier catches Dar with a draw kick. Then Last Legend takes herself in the match, so Valtan Ferraz enters the match as well. Then she makes a quick take to Luis Leon, but Legend quickly gets control and she takes in Jericho Jackson, but Leon fights back. Or Mensa takes in, so Dragon Lee enters the match. Mensa gets control as Noam Dar cheap shots Lee in the corner. And then Metaphor works really while the referee distracted. Mensa locks in a standing side headlock, but Lee lands a volley of elbow shots in the corner to break free. Jackson pulls Mensa into the corner so Dar can make the hot tag. That gives Dragon Lee enough time to make the hot tag to Heritage Cup champ Nathan Frazier. Chaos breaks loose as Leon Ferraz dive under the opponent to the outside as Lee caught Mensa with a hook route off the apron. Then back inside the ring, Frazier takes on Dar, tries to go to the top, but Jackson presents on top of Dar to make Frazier not hit the move. Last Legend takes into Leon, enters the match, and Leon works over Legend for making a tag to Ferraz, but Ferraz couldn't continue momentum before Dragon Lee and Mensa gets the tags. Lee sends Mensa in the corner, kicks him in the face. Frazier gets a tag, but Mensa catches with a roll for a 2 count. Frazier hits a Spanish fly off the second rope and then takes back in Dragon Lee. Frazier hits a tope suicide to Noam Dar on the outside as Lee hits the Destino on Mensa. I know it's not actually, it's a foot reverse, but basically that's what it was, a Destino for the win at 10 minutes and 51 seconds. I should really enjoy this pre-show match. I just won 7 out of 10. So now we go to the main show. We kick it off with the NXT Tag Team titles. On the line, Gallus, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang defends against the family, Tony D'Angelo, and Stacks. Wolfgang and Stacks start this match off. Wolfgang takes control and sends Stacks in the corner. Then Wolfgang makes the hot take to Mark Coffey, but Stacks makes the hot take to Tony D'Angelo. D'Angelo takes control on Mark and makes the hot take to Stacks. Hits the rest, but Joe Coffey trips him from the outside before Stacks catches Mark with a side headlock. Coffey breaks free and makes a hot take to Wolfgang. Wolfgang works over Stacks in the corner and takes back at Mark. Mark and Stacks slug out in the middle of the ring, but he gets better exchange and makes a take back to Wolfgang. Wolfgang likes a front headlock and drags Stacks down to one knee before Mark dumps Stacks neck first on the second row and makes a hot take back to Wolf. Sorry, that was Mark doing all that move and a Wolf tag takes in. Stacks leaves Rocks Wolfgang by makes tag take to Angel. Wolfgang takes Mark in, but D'Angelo takes control as Stacks dumps Wolfgang to the floor. So D'Angelo takes Mark up to the top rope and Stacks makes a blind tag. D'Angelo hits a superplex to Mark. Stacks goes for the dumb and hit, but goes for the cover, but Wolfgang makes the save at the last second. So Wolfgang tags in, but D'Angelo lowers the top rope. I lost my word there for a sec. But Wolfgang tumbles to the floor. D'Angelo powerbombs Mark on the Wolfgang on the floor, hits back in the ring, and sends Stacks over the top rope on top of Gallus. Wolfgang gets back in the ring as Stacks takes D'Angelo and they catch him with the bada bang, bada boom for the win to win the NXT Tag Team titles at 8 minutes and 43 seconds. This actually was a fun little NXT Tag Team title match. It was time for Gallus to lose the titles. I just won 6 out of 10. And we our second match, third match overall, but second on the main show. A weapons wild match. Blair Davenport versus Texas own Roxanne Perez. So Davenport attacks Perez from the crowd during her entrance. So once the bell officially starts, both ladies are on the outside. Both ladies brought at ringside before Roxanne dies off the barricade on the Davenport. Once it gets inside the ring, Roxanne quickly dumps Blair to the outside. Roxanne goes for a tope suicide, but Davenport blocks with a trash can shot, and then she puts Perez inside it and hits her with her inside the trash can. Davenport dumps Roxanne to the outside, uses a belt to whip her into the barricade right in front of her mother and sister. So Roxanne comes back with a cowbell and whips into Davenport. Then she grabs a belt that Davenport was using and repeatedly whips her with it, and then whips her into the barricade and then grabs a table from underneath, sets it to the ringside. Blair tries to fight back, but Perez slams her into the apron and it rolls her back inside, goes on top, but Davenport knocks her down to the mat, tries to go for pop rocks on top of chairs, but Davenport blocks it. So she slams her onto a trash can, hits her right, tries to decide Russia Alexiev on the for the table ringside, but Perez blocks it, hits a running knee, and puts her on top. She goes to the top rope, hits a diving splash off the top rope to the floor, puts her for the table, sends her back in the ring, and connects with Pop Rocks under the pile of chairs to score the victory at 11 minutes and 49 seconds. I actually really enjoyed this Weapons Wild match. I think it just won 7 out of 10. I imagine they'll probably want us back one more time. They like doing rubber matches with feuds. But that was a fun little match. Then we go to Gable Stevenson's in-ring debut against Baron Corbin. So Stevenson goes for the leg, but Corbin evades it, and then he knocks him into the corner work and then takes control in the corner before Stevenson leaves over Corbin into the corner and catches with an ankle lock. Steven dumps Corbin to the outside, hits a German suplex on the floor. Corbin fights back and slays him in the ring post regains control of the match. Then Corbin rolls Stevens back in the ring, hits it, drives his knee into the gut before Corbin works over him in the corner and slams him to the mat for a 2 count. Corbin stuns a Maho and Stevens in the corner, but Gable comes back with a belly suplex, then closes him to the outside and immediately throws him back inside. Stevens clotheslines Corbin to the floor, but this time Corbin grabs Stevens and slams him back first into the apron. Stevenson fights back, and we get a brawl at ringside, and they get double counted out at 6 minutes and 32 seconds. I didn't really care for this match, honestly. I just went 5 out of 10. I kind of figured they were going to do. I mean, you guys heard me on the show, but I'm not a big fan of like double counters. But this one, in this case, I actually could let this one slide. I mean, Corbin's just getting his burn the ships gimmick over, and this is Stevens' first match. So I could kind of understand why. Then after the match, to continue brawling in out of the ring before Stevens lays out Corbin to the floor for celebrating the ring. Then we go to our next match. Another time, this time it's a North American title on the line in a triple threat match. Dominic Mysterio defends the former champion Leslie and Mustafa Ali. So Lee and Ali set their sights on Dominic Mysterio, but Dominic flees to the outside. Ali falls in, but Rhea Ripley gets in between both men. So as Wesley hits for Dominic from the other side, he goes back inside the ring. They chase him inside and basically start beating him down. They work over Dominic in the corner and sends him to the outside. And then Lee and Ali take turns on a turn to go to the top rope. But Dominic knocks both of them off to the outside. Dominic rolls Ali back in the ring, hits 2 of the 3 Amigos before Wesley interferes. So he hits Lee with 2 of 3 Amigos will. This time Ali interferes, so both men hit double team 3 Amigos and Dominic. That was actually a pretty cool spot. Lee catches Dominic with a meteor and then goes for a pin, but Ali broke up at the last second by a draw kick before Ali hits West with a Toria DT out of the corner for a 2 count of himself. Then he tries to go for the slingshot rolling neck breaker. Then he ties up Dominic and Lee in a Boston Crab Cable clutch combination. That was another cool spot. Lee and Dominic break free, but Ali dumps him back first in the bottom rope, and then he climbs to the top rope as Dominic and Lee were hanging on the bottom rope on the apron. Tries to go for the 450, but both men move out of the way, so Ali takes a nasty landing to the apron. Dominic rolls up Lee for a 2 count. Dominic goes to the outside, but he got hit with a tope suicide from West. West rolls back and tries to go for another one, but Ripley jumps on the apron to block him. But Wesley does it anyway, dives over Ripley and a Dusty Rascals taunt. And so Ripley grabs Wesley's foot and hits the riptide for the United States, rolls back in the ring. Dominic was trying to go for a frog splash, but Ali knocks him off, so Dominic's foot got stuck on the top rope, hits the forfeit, goes for the cover. Ripley pulls him to the floor. So Dominic takes advantage, climbs the top rope, and hits the frog splash to score the win and then retain the title at 12 minutes and 5 seconds. Really enjoyed this. Actually, I enjoyed this triple threat match more than I thought I was going to, but you kind of figured Dominic's retaining. But I really enjoyed it. I just won 7 out of 10. Semi-main event for the women's title in a submissions match. Tiffany Stratton defends against the Hale. This is a rematch from Gold Rush. So Stratton takes down Hale with a short block, locks in a surfboard, but Thea breaks free. Then she locks an armbar, but Stratton fight out, and the action goes to the outside. She sends her back first in the ring post, and then hit Thea around the ring post, sends her back inside the ring, catches her with a toe-to-work back break, followed with a handspring elbow in the corner. Tries to go for an arm to back break, but Thea counters in an arm drag. Thea goes for a springboard back senton, or the boing. I think that's what she calls it. But Strand gets her knees up. Strand locks in a body scissors, but Thea fights back to her feet and hits Trash Faction. Goes to the top rope, connects with cross body, but Tiffany rolls and lifts Thea. So Thea locks in the Kimura, but she counters with a suplex in the corner to break free. That was kind of cool. They go to the top, and Thea hits her with. I think at first I thought it was a T-bone. It was a superplex. Anyway, Thea goes to the Kimura again, but Tiffany grabs the bottom rope, but the referee says there's no rope breaks. So Strand hits the pretty smooth, so Evans locks in a sloppy Boston Crab. Thea refuses to tap, so she walks in a deep single leg Boston Crab. Thea refuses to submit, but Andre Chase throws in the towel, so Tiffany Strand retains the title by technical submission at 11 minutes and 45 seconds. I just went 6 out of 10. Honestly, I did like the ending there. I thought that was a big disappointment, honestly. Like, honestly, I liked our Gold Rush match a little bit better, but you kind of figured Thea was retaining. Then we go to the main event for the NXT title, our final time match on the show. Carmelo Hayes defends against Ilya Dragunov. So Carmelo grabs her wrist to start and muscles Dragunov down to the mat, but Ilya fights back to his feet and Carmelo catches him with a deep arm drag to take him down and it locks an armbar. Ilya breaks free, locks outside Hillock. Carmelo reverses to a Hillock of his own, goes for the armbar, but Ilya fights out again. Carmelo chops the chest. Dragunov hits a German suplex, falls on the second one, tries to go for a third, but Carmelo blocks it. Dragunov regains control of the back senton for a 2 count. So Dragunov blocks a modified Cobra Clutch, then sends Hayes into the second rope. Ilya works over Carmelo with a volley chops in the corner, then loves him with a spinning chop for another 2 count. Both men slug in the middle of the ring, but Dragunov gets the better of it and hits the Constantine special for a 2 count. Dragunov goes for the modified Cobra Clutch again, but this time as the body scissors. Carmelo rolls Ilya into a pinning predicament, but really so to avoid a 2 count. Ilya takes down Hayes with a short arm clothesline, blocks a super kick, then hits a kick to the back of the head, but Carl rebounds off the ropes and hits a Tortuga Bulldog for a 2 count. And then he works over Ilya in the corner. And then Dragunov hits a elbow shots to the hip, but Carmelo fights by elbows of his own. Hayes falls with a springboard DT for another 2 count. Carmelo goes to work the ground and pound offense, then hits on top of Ilya, flips him back down the mat, and goes to the door, hits a back senton for a 2 count. Ilya goes back up, tries to go for coast to coast, but Carmelo counters for the coat breaker. That was a cool spot. Carmelo goes to the top, tries to go for nothing but net, but Ilya counters into a power bomb, hits a diving fish drop for a 2.5 count. Both men slug in the middle of the ring, catch each other with 7-days roundhouse kicks, and then they both crash to the outside. Tries to go for torpedo Moscow off the ring steps, but Carmelo sidesteps and he ends up connecting with Trick Williams, and he hits his head up the NXT title. So Carmelo rolls him back in the ring, goes to the top rope, and connects with nothing but net to retain the NXT title at 24 minutes and 7 seconds. This match was excellent. I just won 15 out of 10. Easily best match of the show, but overall, and the show closed with them celebrating. Overall, I really enjoyed this Great American Bash this year. Overall score, I just won 8 out of 10. Only matches I recommend is the NXT title match, the North American title, and the Weapons Wild match, and the 8-person tag match. That's the only 4 I recommend checking out, but that is Great American Bash. Excuse me. Now we went over to July 31st for the only show on Monday, that is Monday Night Raw. So we kick it off with Logan Paul welcomes fans to Monday Night Raw. And then so he had been talking in front of these branded people for too long. He says he's in Houston for Ricochet after introducing him to his own audience last week. Says all he's trying to do is showcase Ricochet's athleticism. And then builds around the match. He says he was blindsided and because of Ricochet, he will be in my SummerSlam in the most far match of all WWE. Speaking of Ricochet, his music hits and he makes his way down the ring. He has Logan what's going on, says he's got into his head. He says Paul is trying to pretend to be the good guy while he can fool his audience. He isn't fooling the WWE fans. He says their SummerSlam match will be box office. It tells him he has something to say to him. He doesn't like Paul on a personal level. He respects that he's an athlete and a showman. Paul says he appreciates Ricochet saying that and returns the sentiment. He says Ricochet was one of the greatest to do it until he showed him WWE. It says he made him go far during the Royal Rumble match earlier this year, as both take each other with a jump up top with a crossbody across the ring. He says they're gonna have one hell of a match and offers Ricochet's hand. Ricochet fist bumps it, looks late, but Logan stops him. He tells Ricochet's fiance Smart would have to announce Logan as the winner as their match. Ricochet has enough. He takes him down, double leg, takes him down, rings up right hands, but Paul, since Ricochet crashed on the mat, before Ricochet connects with an Enzuigiri, looks for something off the top rope, but Logan nails with a right hand mid-air and then takes his photo and records Ricochet laying him out close to that segment. Then we go backstage. Jackie Evans with Imperium. She has Intercontinental Champion Gunther Buzz upcoming title defense against Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. Gunther says he doesn't live in the past. He says the only concern is disappointment, expressed disappointment he feels to live with Kaiser as after losing to McIntyre last week. He says Kaiser has a chance to redeem himself when he faces Matt Riddle up next, and he'll end McIntyre at SummerSlam. Well, speaking of Kaiser Matt Riddle match, we go to that now opening match between these. Matt starts with a lockup. Riddle hits a pair. Matt returns for trading submission holds with Ludwig Kaiser. Riddle gets the upper hand and hits a gut wrench suplex, chop to Kaiser of his own before they go back and forth. Kaiser sends Riddle in the ring post shoulder first, and a draw kicks him to the outside, uppercuts, and tosses him back as a ring, and then he takes a second to strategize with Gunther. Kaiser slides back in the ring, and Riddle sends him in the outside over the top rope, hits a floating bro as we got to a commercial break. When we come back from break, Riddle fires up forearms and chops, and it hits a suplex and a broton, follows with a German suplex for a 2 count before Riddle connects with a second broton. Tries to go for a third, but Kaiser gets the knees up and hits a clothesline. Riddle hits the kick to Kaiser's hip, but Kaiser lands to his face. Then Riddle hits a ripcord knee and a suplex. Then we see Giovanni Vinci hops on the apron, allowing Kaiser to roll him up, and but Riddle counts to a powerbomb, full of ripcord for a 2 count. Ripcord knee, for a 2 count. Slaps Riddle, hits an uppercut. Riddle catches Kaiser with a knee, climbs the tower, looks to go flying for what a move, but Kaiser rolls out of the way, running into Gary. It hits Deathfall for the victory at 11 minutes and 4 seconds. Really enjoyed this match. I just went 7 out of 10. And then after the match, Gunther shakes Kaiser's hand. Then after the break, we get a video package of Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes to hype up their match for SummerSlam. Then we go to our second match. Maxine Dupree goes on with Valhalla. This is Maxine Dupree's singles debut here on Raw. Valhalla wastes no time. She delivers a knee to Maxine Dupree. Fires up right hands, but Maxine fires back with a pair of arm drags. But Valhalla nails a jaw to her. Sorry, a knee to the jaw. Wow. Yeah, jaw to the knee. Yeah, that totally works. Maxine hits an arm drag and a kick to Valhalla's head. Falls with a suplex splash in the corner. Alpha Academy, Otis and Jack Gable hop on the apron to support Maxine. Maxine hits the caliper and Otis climbs the top rope, hits a crossbody, goes for the cover, but Eric jumps on the apron to strike the referee. Otis begins brawling with Eric before Ivar gets involved, and then Gable climbs the top rope and takes everybody with a moonsault. Valhalla sits Dupree on the top rope, looks for a superplex, but Maxine escapes and hits the Ocean Cyclone suplex, paying homage to Naomi Toyota for the victory at 3 minutes and 33 seconds. This was okay. I just went 4 out of 10. Also, the result was pretty predictable, but I'm just kind of I'm starting to get tired of seeing Alpha Academy for like combinations for the past month. But it was a pretty good singles debut. But you could tell she was pretty green, but overall wasn't bad for a 3.5 minute match. The Judgment Day makes her around the ring. Then we see Mr. Money in the Bank. Damian Priest calls for all the rise to Judgment Day before Women's World Champion replaces Raw. Doesn't start to the floor, says it does. She says it's Judgment Day's world and they have no problem putting anyone who doesn't fall in line on the shelf. They list everyone who has crushed Judgment Day, including Undisputed Tag Champions Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins and Liv Morgan, and also Raquel Rodriguez. Priest puts Rollins and Zayn on notice ahead of their tag match along with NXT North American Champion Donald later in the show. Before Finn Balor starts speaking, he says Rollins acts insane, but real insanity is seeing scars he inflicted on him. He says Rollins ruined his career 7 years ago and says, well, he can't erase the scars. He will inflict them on Rollins and feel better about himself. For Dominic Mysterio, says he'll bring back some pride to Mysterio name. It represents anyone who tried to get in Judgment Day's way should take a page out of Raquel Rodriguez's book. She tells him to run and hide. And speaking of Raquel Rodriguez, her music hits and she marches down the ring. So her and Ripley start brawling. Close on to the outside, sends a crash in the barricade in the ring post, and warns Stone not to get involved. So Ripley takes a vicious distraction and hits a chop block. Officials run out and check on Raquel before Ripley stomps on the knee again and then leaves to close out that segment. To be honest, I'm a little surprised we're not getting this title match at SummerSlam, but I mean, it's whatever. I mean, all the reports. I'm not getting into that honestly. And then we head over to a first of two parts of a video showcasing Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler talk about their friendship over the past several years, leading up to their MMA rules match at SummerSlam. Then we go to our excuse me third match of the show: Shinsuke Nakamura versus Tommaso Ciampa, two members of the Slim Jim SummerSlam Battle Royal tomorrow at SummerSlam. I'll talk about the SummerSlam card after this Raw review. And then so Nakamura and Ciampa lock will get match started. Then Nakamura hits a short tackle before Ciampa delivers a chop and a backbreaker and falls up with a drop kick to Nakamura's head. Barza stomps and hits a right hand, but in a chop, but Nakamura comes back with a knee and a kick to the spine. Yeah, she spills to the outside. Ciampa sets Nakamura up on the apron and hits a knee, sends a crash in the timekeeper's area as we go to commercial break. When we come back from break, Nakamura hits it insecure to Ciampa. Ciampa comes back with a DT off the ropes, hits a chop, and looks to go flying up the middle rope, but Nakamura moves out of the way, hits a knee, forearm, and then Nakamura kicks Ciampa in the midsection. It rolls out with the tights for the win at 8 minutes and 54 seconds. Honestly, these two, I gotta be honest, this was disappointing. I just want 5 out of 10. I know these two got way better matches, but this was disappointing. So Brock Lesnar makes his way and injures himself with self accomplishments. This is it's fight week now because the way it's over for SummerSlam. He says he'll be getting paid to fight Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam while Cody's being paid to take a beating, then calls him out to the ring. So Cody makes his way down the ring. He circles around the ring before offers hand to Lesnar. Brock shakes it and then they stare each other down. Cody looks to hug Lesnar, but he pushes him away and looks to leave. So Cody nails him with a tope suicida, but Brock sends him into the ring post spine first and hits him one of the ring steps twice. Rhodes begins to get him, and Lesnar hits him with a right hand across the spine, picks up the ring steps and nails Cody with it, but Cody gets back up again, so it needed a hit, and then throws him in the ring and connects with F5 to close this segment. Then we go to a non-title fight. This was up earlier in the show backstage. Basically, Alpha Academy was happy about Maxine's victory over Valhalla, and then Imperium found it disrespectful that they weren't able to Kaiser's win in the opening match over Matt Riddle's, and then got a little bit hard. So Gable couldn't survive 5 minutes, so Gable accepted the challenge. And but I counted, I know people are counted as one match with and then they had another match. But honestly, I count this as two because technically the bell did ring, and then they set up another. Anyway, just for me, I count as two separate matches, but I'm gonna count this as part one. So this is the 5 minute challenge. Match starts with a lockup. They go back for submission holds for Gunther stumps on Gable's neck, falls with a snapmare and delivers a neck crank and a body slam for going for a couple pins for a 2 count, and Gable kicks out each time. Gable comes back with a pair of chops, but Gunther hits series of uppercuts. Gable fires a few right hands, looks for a German suplex, unable to get Gunther over his head, so Gunther takes him out with a chop. Tries to go for a power one, but Gable counters with an ankle lock. But Gunther escapes, locks in a sleeper. With 10 seconds left on the clock, Gunther looks for a power one. Gable escapes, and Gunther crashes to the outside, and then the clock runs it. So Gable wins by surviving the time limit. But for my reign, I'm gonna do it after the second part of the match, so overall score. Then after the match, Gunther demands more time, and Samantha Irvin, and as the match will continue, so Gable hits a dropkick on the floor as we go to commercial break. And we come back from break, we get the second part of this match. After the break, Gunther delivers a massive chop to Gable and fires up with a second one. Sits Gable on the top rope, but Gable fires up Gunther, delivers a knee and lands a pair of draw kicks, locks an arm with short submission. Gunther gets out of it and connects with a high German suplex. Gable hits a series of forearms and a German suplex of his own for a 2 count. Before Gunther comes over with a big boot, series of chops, and then nails him to the mat with a power bomb. So the second part of this match went 7 minutes 54 seconds, but overall these two had 12 minutes and 54 seconds. So overall score for both matches, I'm giving this one 7 out of 10. Honestly, I would not mind these two running the back, but the timeline let these guys have 15-20 minutes. But after the match, Gunther tells fans to get used to him, pick up wins, celebrate his success. Then he puts McIntyre on nose, tells him to take a look what he did to Gable. Says the same fate awaits McIntyre at SummerSlam and ends him once and for all. I'm pretty excited for this Intercontinental match at SummerSlam. These two are going to beat the shit out of each other for a good 15-20 minutes. I'm pretty happy for it. Excuse me. And Becky Lynch makes her way down the ring. She says the man has come around to Houston. It's said and done. Everything to get a rematch with Trish Stratus. She says now there's nothing left to do. It's just no better time to square off than now. So her music hits appears along Sylvie Starks. She thought about facing Lynch here and now, but Rhea's finding her own time. She says She'll name the time and place and wants to fight. Lynch says she won't cheat her out of the match. Adam Pearce comes down the ring, comes down on the ramp, and announced the rematch relevant. Now we get the match, but literally the bell rang, so he starts. Becky Lynch does start attacking Trish, but still he quickly gets involved and attacks Lynch, and the referee calls the bell. This match literally went like 5 seconds. Like I can't. I'm giving this one NA because it's under a minute. Also, this was pointless. This did not need to be on the show. I'm sorry. It does not need to be. Then after the match, Becky sends Trish face first announce table with Dustin and Zoe on the ring. Brent touches Trish into a timekeeper's area, floats it back. Suplex her back in the ringside area, but Zoe interferes and beats Becky down. She says starts in the ring post, and Trish hits her with a chair. Then after the break, we see Trish and Zoe walking backstage. Pearce runs over and says, what she said was unacceptable. And Trish says that was a rematch where she had no time to prepare. So Pearce announced that Trish and Becky will face off again in Winnipeg, Manitoba in 2 weeks. And so we'd be banned from ringside. And then we get to our second part of the video between Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, hyping up their friendship over the past several years before leading up to the MMA rules match at SummerSlam. I thought these video packages were really, really great. And then we go to our main event, tag team match, Undisputed Tag Team Champions. Sami Zayn teams up with the World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins to go against Judgment Day's NXT North American Champion Dominic Mysterio and Mr. Money Bank Damian Priest. So Sami and Seth Rollins waste no time and go after Judgment Day on the ramp, but Judgment Day overpowers him and Priest sends Zayn inside the ring. Sami goes flying over the top to take out Damian before Finn Balor beats him down. So Rollins takes him out of Tope Suicide and sends him to the back as meets Sami in the ring as we have a commercial break. When we come out for break, Dominic Mysterio slides out of the ring, so Rollins chases him back inside and Dominic fires a right hands in the corner before Rollins gets him a left chair position, sends him top turnbuckle face first, and then hits a right knee and takes in Sami. Sami hits a double X handle off the middle rope, but Dominic shoves him into the corner and takes in Priest. Priest whips Zayn into the corner for Sami fires up chops and delivers an elbow off the middle rope, takes Rollins back in. So Rollins hits a double stomp off the top rope as Sami holds Priest in place. Rollins fires up chops in the corner, hits a boot to Priest's face, looks to go flying, but Priest catches the right hand, takes in Dominic. Dominic fires a right hand on Rollins, takes in Priest. Priest hits a boot and takes Dominic back in. Dominic hits a pair of right hands that Rollins hit. Then the men's edge takes out the Priest. Rollins hits a knee to face, but Balor trips him, lands on the apron, sends him crashing face first in the ring post as we go to a second break. When we come back from the second break, Rollins hits a rolling elbow to Dominic before Priest and Zayn tagging. Zayn fires the right hands on Damian, then falls over to close on, but Priest comes back with a boot. Sami duns him out of the ring, let's go flying over the top to take him down. He tosses him inside the ring, hits a tornado DD for a 2 count. I saw it broke up the pin. Dominic tries to go for 619, but Sami takes him over the clothesline before he can finish the move. Rollins and Priest taken. Rollins hits a sling blade, 3 tope suicidas to Priest. And the last one sends him crashing over the announce table, gets him back under. Let's go flying, but Priest catches him, looks for stuff ahead, but Rollins escapes a pair of super kicks. Rhea Ripley huffs on the distract the referee while Dominic deliver a jawbreaker off the top rope. So Sami takes down Dominic, but Ripley gets in his face, so Balor nails him with a draw kick into the barricade while the referee was distracted. Priest takes advantage by him, raises edge on Rollins, looks to pin him, but he notices Money briefcase on the announce table. He calls for Balor to pass it to him. And Balor was hesitant to give it to him, but he finally did. As you try to catch him, Rollins kicks the briefcase in the face of Priest. Dominic tries to interfere, but Rollins nails him with the briefcase. Balor tries to attack Rollins, but Sami takes him out with the hula kick and then hits Priest. Rollins hits Priest with the curve stomp for the victory at 12 minutes and 33 seconds. Honestly, I give this main event 6 out of 10. It was a fun little tag match, but honestly, I've been seeing this combination over the past month. I don't starting to get a little tired of it, but I mean, they don't have bad matches. I just won 6 out of 10. Overall, this Raw wasn't too bad. It had its high and lows. I guess overall score 6 out of 10. Only 2 matches I recommend checking out is Ludwig from Matt Riddle and the Gable Gunther stuff. And then the video package for the Brock Cody match and the Ronda Rousey Shayna Baszler. That's really the only stuff you really need to check out. So the SummerSlam card on August 5th. I'm recording this on Friday, so the night before SummerSlam. So we had Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins defends World title against Finn Balor, Asuka defends the women's title against Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair triple threat match, Undisputed Universal title on the line of Tribal Combat match, so it's the recognition of Tribal Chief. Roman Reigns defends Both Fellows against Jey Uso, Ricochet versus Logan Paul, Gunther defends Aaron Cole to Drew McIntyre, I just fucked that up. And a MMA rules match, Ronda Rousey for Shayna Baszler, and a battle Slim Jim SummerSlam Battle Royal members from Raw and SmackDown. Only 6 names has been confirmed so far. LA Knight for Sheamus, Shinsuke Nakamura, Tommaso Ciampa, and Alpha Academy are the only 6 confirmed for this, but that was Monday Night Raw. I know we will head over to the Tuesday, August 1st shows. So we kick it off. And sorry, this is by A and B block night. So we kick it off with Hikuleo getting the win over Kito Kiyomiya at 9 minutes 46 via Godsend. So Hikuleo, by the way, had to win to survive, to still be in the hunting. Can't talk today. And speaking of must win or mathematical eliminate, in B block, Yoshihashi had to win or he was eliminated, but unfortunately, Great-O-Khan has eliminated him at 13 minutes and 50 seconds via pop-up eliminator. Back to A block, Chase Owens has to win or he's eliminated, but Randy does eliminate Chase Owens at 9 minutes and 8 seconds via submission. In a non-title B block action, ELP is on the bubble, so he must win or he's eliminated. But ELP does get the win over KOPW 23 champion Taichi, 13 minutes and 50 seconds via Taichi style ghetto clutch. Then we go back to A block, champion first champion, IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Sanada Devine, strong openweight tag team champion Gabriel Kidd, 12 minutes and 8 seconds via deathfall. Another non-title B block action is United States champion Will Ospreay versus Tanga Loa. Tanga Loa must win or he's mathematically eliminated. Tanga Loa does get the win by count of 15 minutes and 34 seconds. Then we go back to A block. This is the final A block match of the show. Yosuji must win to keep his dreams and core files alive. He does get the win over Shota Umino at 19 minutes and 20 seconds. And the main event in B block, number 0.6-man tag champ Kazuchika gets the win over Kenta, 19 minutes and 10 seconds via Rainmaker, and that eliminates Kenta. So standings for A and B after night 11. Night 11 and A block, IWGP World Champion Sanada in first place with 12.6 wins, 0 losses. He already got his spot in the quarterfinals, so the rest of A block are just fighting for second place. In second place, Kito Kiyomiya has 6 points. He has 2 of each, 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws. And Hikuleo has 6 points, but he has 3 wins and 3 losses. And then third place, strong openweight tag champ Gabriel Kidd and Yasuji tied with 5 points, 2 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. And in last place, Ren Narita and Chase Owens have 4 points, 2 wins, and 4. Oh, wait. Sorry, I actually messed up Ren Narita's score. Narita, has 1 win, 3 losses, and 2 draws there. But Chase Owens does have 2 wins, 4 losses. My apologies there, but those 2 are mathematically eliminated. So basically, anybody under Kidd and Tsuji have been eliminated. And in B block, first place, number 0.6-man tag champ Kazuchika Okada have 10 points, 5 wins, 1 loss. Will Ospreay ties in second place. In second place with 8 points, 4 wins, 2 losses. Third place, KOPW 23 champion Taichi and Tanga Loa and ELP all tied with 6 points, 3 wins, 3 losses. But ELP is still in the running due to ELP has wins over Taichi and Tanga Loa, so that's why both men have been eliminated. And in last place, IWGP Tag Champ Yoshihashi, Kenta, and Great-O-Khan are also mathematically limited. They have 4 points, 2 wins, and 4 losses. So going to the final B block action, A and B. So for A block, it's just Sanada, Kito Kiyomiya, Hikuleo, Gabriel Kidd, and Yoji Tsuji, and along with Shota Umino. And in B block, it's just Okada, Ospreay, and ELP are the only 3 left from B block who could get into the quarterfinals. Oh, I missed it. And Shota, by the way, is Tyler Kiyomiya as well. He has 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws as well. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I forgot to add them in my notes there. They're fixing that right now. But that is the New Japan G1 Climax. And A and B block, by the way, A block is on tomorrow's same day SummerSlam, August 5th. And B block finals, if you want, for final round block action, will be Sunday, August 6th. So I'll talk about those on Saturday and on the Sunday show. But that is New Japan. And then we'll go to NWA Power. We're kicking with a triple threat match. Chris Adonis defeat Jack Draper and Damage, 4 minutes and 14 seconds. In a submission match, Judas defeat Gaze to Gam 7 minutes and 3 seconds. Tag team match, we had Fowler and Joe Alonzo defeating Eric Jackson and Robert Anthony at 5.5 minutes. for the women's television title, Kenzie Page versus Angela Love ended a time limit draw, 6 minutes and 5 seconds. So Kenzie Page retains the title. And the main event, Silas Mason defeating Kota Moxamana 4 minutes and 10 seconds. So it's NWA Power. And now we go to NXT. So we kick out with a recap of Great American Bash. And then we see the new NXT Tag Champs, the family, pull up to the Performance Center before Gallus attacks them. And then as Vic Joseph Booker T greets the audience from home, JC Jean grabs the headset to She's Got Fish restart on Sunday with Leia Fakiria. Then we go to an opening match, JC Jean versus Leia Fakiria. So JC blindsides her on the ramp, hit the blockbuster off the apron, sends her inside the ring, and the bell rings. So JC sends Lauria crashing in the car, fires off stomps, but Fakiria comes back with a crossbody, but Jane lands a snapmare pair of kicks. Rams her shoulder first into the midsection, but Fakiria comes back with a drop kick before the Ashley spills to the outside and hits a tope suicida. As we go to commercial break, after the break, Fakiria hits a boot to JC, falls with a back elbow. Jane lands on around, hits a senton, and then hits a pair of kicks, sends her out of the ring, hits a draw kick for the middle rope, gets her back inside the ring, climbs to the top rope, hits a crossbody, then a Northern Lights suplex, goes for a cover, only got 2 count. Fakiria hits a serious kicks before looking for an enziguri, but Jane ducks it away and hits a spine blast followed with a super kick. Fakiria hits a spin back kill kick, climbs to the top rope and hits the frog splash for the win at 9 minutes and 26 seconds. This was an okay match. This one 5 out of 10. Then we go backstage with the NXT champ Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams talk about his latest title defense, either dragging up at the Bash. Trick says he meant what he said last week. He said he has to do this for him. Carmelo voices his support and when explains the NXT Universe sees him as a sidekick. He said he is in the NXT champion, that shows Eli what he's made of. Carmelo said he respects that, and while once it isn't a breakup, it's time for him to be his own man, and then they hug. Then after the break, we see NXT Tag Champs, the family being checked on. Mackenzie Mitchell asks for an update on the condition, and DeAndre makes clear he wants to face Gallus. Stacks points out there's only 2 of them, and DeAndre he'll make a call, which we'll find out later in the show. Then we see Dominic Mysterio, the North American champ, and Women's World Champ, really make their way down the ring. Then she introduced him as still the North American champion. He said he's proven more of a man than the Wesley, was offering everyone in the audience. Dominic calls out the greatest lucha of all time. But before he continued dragging Lee's music hit to make his way down the ring, he says he won't let Dominic disrespect the NXT Universe or his heritage any longer. Rhea Ripley calls Dragon Lee Rey Mysterio Jr., which I did get a laugh out of that. And then Dragon says he doesn't like her, which I've got a laugh out as well. Then in questions Don Stable, the greatest luchador of all time, says no one believes that honor belongs to his father. Dominic says he made the Mysterio name relevant, and Lee says he's still North American just because of Ripley, which is true. Then challenges him to a title match next week as a means to prove himself, and Dominic accepts. Ripley makes it clear she'll be at ringside. And Dragon says he won't be alone. Either do we see on the Titantron, Dominic's father, Rey Mysterio, comes up with the screen as he's proud to be on NXT next week in the corner side he truly respects. That close that statement. Then we go backstage to see Carmelo Hayes as Wesley, a pissed off, appears, and Carmelo asks what's the matter. He tells him he has no idea what he's going through, and Carmelo tells him he understands the pressure and the anger before Metaphors, Noam Dar, or Menta walk in, and he goes being so-called the Heritage Cup champion. Lee informs that he actually isn't the champion, and Dar says he never lost the title before his brand was 2 recent losses to Dominic. So we basically get a fist fight in the locker room. That sets up a tag match later in the show. Then we go backstage to Chase Hughes being interviewed for Baron Corbin interrupts. Corbin told Thea Hill not everyone has it for the business, but Andres calls Corbin an asshole and a piece of shit before calling him challenging to one match later in the show. Speaking of matches, we go to our second one of the show. Dijak versus Eddie Thorpe. Dijak looks for a big boot, but Thorpe ducks it away and hits a draw kick, fires with right hands and connects with Snapmere. Tries to go for a choke, but Thorpe fights his way out and delivers a series of shoulders to the midsection. Dijak sends Thorpe crashing in the ring post shoulder first and delivers a set out choke slam for a 2 count. Thorpe hits a kick to the midsection, lands a running boot and a suplex. Dijak sends Thorpe in the ring post shoulder first, then gets him on the shoulders. Thorpe quickly escapes, hits his jumping elbow. Dijak rolls out of the ring for a gig pin, kick to the jaw, falls with a boot to the shoulder for the win at 4 minutes and 23 seconds. This was okay. I just went 5 out of 10 as well. And then we see the families backstage. Tony Ginger reveals that they have their partner for the 6-man tag later in the show. And then we go backstage to Dina Brooks with Kalani Jordan. And Brooks said something came out of her during that candlestick match recorded Jay last week and tells Jordan that she needs to find a killer instinct. So we go to some tag team action. Valentina Perez loses Leon. First, Electra Lopez and Lola fights. Leon and Lopez lock up. Match started. Leon executes a mat takedown and hits a pair of arm drags. Takes it Faraz, and Faraz goes flying with assist from Leon. But Lopez takes her down with a punch after Lopez distracts her. And then Little Vice tags in and hits a kick to the midsection, followed by the hip attack. Lopez takes it, hits a back elbow, falls with a kick, and then Faraz manages it. Insecurity looks to take it Leon, but Vice tags in, prevents her from doing so, but she tags and hits a pair of suplexes to her, falls with a Falcon Arrow, goes for the cover, but Lopez breaks up the pin. Faraz tries to take her down, but Lopez overpowers her, so Leon dumps her to the outside and Vice hits a roundhouse kick for the win at 3 minutes and 33 seconds. This was okay. I give also 1 5 out of 10. Then we see a TikTok video, Women's Championship City Shrine game ready. Every video should return next week and give some props to Thea Hill. And then we go to another tag team match. This time it is NXT champion Carmelo Hayes and Tito Wesley to go against Noam Dar and Ara Mensah of Meta-4. West wastes no time. He attacks Dar Mensah on the outside for the overpower him, but Carmelo takes them both down with a clothesline off the steps. Then Wesley says Noam Dar heads bounce up the ring apron as Carmelo brawls with Ara Mensah. Then Lee sends Dar crashing in the apron spine first, dumps inside the ring as Carmelo slides in. Once the bell rings, he uses ropes to hit a suplex. Constantine looks to go flying, but hits an arm drag and a draw kick as Lee takes to be tagged in, but Carmelo decides not to. So Dar takes the Ara Mensah and Cage catches him with a crossbody up the ropes. Lee tags in, wears Mensah down for Carmelo tags back and hits a kick to his chest. Lee takes back and hits an uppercut for his right hands of the midsection. Mensah hits a right hand across the spine, and then Carmelo takes it. It's a double draw kick with Lee. Lee then takes back and climbs the top rope before they go flying. Last Legend Jagger Jackson pulls Ora out of the ring as we go to commercial break. When we come back from break, Dar hits a right hand to the spine, takes in Mensah. Mensah holds Lee in place. And Dar hits a kick to the chest, hits a suplex, and then Carmelo and Dar tag him while Carmelo hits a back elbow, hits an atomic drop super kick, goes for the cover but kicks out. So Carmelo hits a right hand to the face and tags in West. West goes to the top, but Jagger Jackson slides in the ring and ends himself in between both men. So he goes flying anyway by hitting a spiral tap. As Jagger Jackson gets out of the way, goes for the cover, but Mensah broke it up at the last second. Lee hits a kick to Dar's head, looks for a cardiac kick, but Dar ducks out of the way and Lee accidentally hits Carmelo. This allows Mensah to hit a kick to West while the referee distracted, allows Noam Dar to hit the insecurity on Leslie to get the win at 10 minutes and 34 seconds. Fun tag team match. I just won 6 out of 10. Then we see in the locker room, Braun Breaker cuts Braun caught off Von Wagner. He calls him Von a nobody for problems. He will leave Wagner worse than his headscarf from childhood. Then we go outside to the parking lot. We see Dominic and Rhea Ripley try to leave, but he was caught off by Axiom, and Dominic thought Axiom was dragging the lead, but Axiom had to correct Dominic. And then before it caught by myself, Ali tried to rematch Dominic, but Axiom kept interrupting him. Axiom told Ali he felt disrespect, but Ali responded, but Axiom tried to be disrespect for 6 years, which I mean, it's not fully wrong. Then we go to our next match on the show. Baron Corbin goes well Andre Chase. Match starts with a lockup. Corbin hits a clothesline and a knee to Chase's midsection, but Andre rolls him up for a 2 count. Chase hits a sunset flip. Since Corbin crashes to the outside, but Corbin plants him, sends him back in the ring. He hits a series of elbows to Chase's ribs, whips him in the corner, dumps him out of the ring. He sets Andre in the barricade spine first, dumps him back inside the ring. Chase hits a few kicks and chops, hits a rush of legs, falls with the Chase U-stomps. Climbs to the top with Lozico Fun, but Corbin avoids and plants with Spine Buster. Walks a single, he busts a crab, and Thea Hill throws a towel, but the referee doesn't see it. So Corbin catches it and throws it back to the floor, so Thea storms off. Duke Hudson tries to stop her, but fails. So Chase tries to evade, rolls him up. Corbin kicks out, it hits the end of days to get the win at 5 minutes and 14 seconds. This was okay 5-minute match. I guess from 5 out of 10. And then we get a video diary of Roxanne Perez stays back in Texas, and our win over Blair Davenport in the Weapon Wells match, Great American Bash. Then we go backstage to see Meta-4 celebrating before Tyler Bate interrupts things and challenges him for his Heritage Cup, which no one accepted or realizing it. And in the ring, we saw the diet. It was time for interrogation. Joe Gacy says non-com not have issues with new members, but insurrection is toxic to the roots of the schism tree and must be eradicated. The diet speaks about 2 members saying there are creepers in disguise, and Abel Rain says 2 of the masks put their hands on the diet last week, which is unacceptable. As these purchase step forward and take the mask off, and each individual does one by one, including the return of Ekman Jiro into making his NXT TV return to our two. I know he's been a level up the last month or so, but I mean main NXT TV. Diet attacks two remaining members saying of the Creed brothers on Maslin. They weren't the brothers. Creed brothers pop on the Titantron, laugh at Dive for thinking the two of them were them. The two individuals were them. Julia says they lost the NXT loser leaves NXT match and tells them all the adventures of Bruce and Ben on. Makes it clear that they are in Orlando and thanks to Schism for giving some vacation time. The dialogues attack the other two individuals, but Gacy stops it and tells Creed brothers they're nearby. They tell Schism members across the world to bring the Creed brothers to him. To close out that statement. Then we go to NXT Women's Locker Room where Carjay complains after a loss to Dana Brooke and then basically says she was leaving. Then we go to our main event, 6-man tag team with Gals, Mark and Joe Coffey, Tiffany Wilkins against NXT champions the family, Tony D'Angelo Stacks, and their mystery partner returning Santos Escobar. And before the main event, we saw a car pull. And you can tell it's just Escobar. It's pretty much like a worst kept secret. So the family and Escobar with no time to go after Gals. They dump him out of the ring, and Wolfgang slides back inside the bell rings. Stacks runs him down and takes in Tony D'Angelo. Fars the right hand takes Stacks back in. Stacks is the chop block. Fars the right hand takes D'Angelo back in. Wolfgang hits it back. Elbow takes in Joe Coffey. Mark Coffey and Wolfgang try to interview, but Escobar and Stacks slide, and we get a brawl. As we go to commercial break, when we come out of break, Wolfgang runs down Stacks before Mark takes in. And Joe is a short title. Off the middle, Lids the right hand takes in Joe. Joe Coffey hits a sidewalk slam. Wolfgang takes back and stomps on the neck of Stacks. Mark takes back in Stacks, hits it back body drop. D'Angelo looks to tag him, but Joe pulls him off the apron. Wolfgang tags in at the body slam, falls in with another body slam, but Stacks rolls away and tags in Escobar. Mark Coffey takes in Escobar, gets with a pair of flying short tackles, falls with an Enzuigiri, and Constantino hits a cross body. Both teams brawl in the middle of the ring. Before Joe Coffey, Wolfgang tossed out of the ring. Escobar Enzuigiri to Mark. Constantino with Mark. And followed by a hit to Hurricane. Double knees, tags and Stacks. D'Angelo tags it in the film, hits the bada bang, bada boom for the victory at 9 minutes and 19 seconds. Fun little main event. I just won 6 out of 10 as well. Then after the match, the family and Escobar celebrate. Then we head to a video of Ilya Dragunov, special match for Trick Williams. His retribution begins next week and will not stop until Trick is fully terminated to close out this week's NXT. This was an okay episode of NXT. I just won 6 out of 10. Honestly, not really much matches to recommend, honestly, for the show. If I had to choose, I'd probably say the Metaphor Carmelo Wesley match and the 6-man tag on. That's probably the only 2 I recommend checking out. Maybe, and Lawyer and JC on, so that's the 3. But next week's NXT with Dominic defends the North American title against Dragon Lee. Braun Breaker goes on with Von Wagner. Noam Dar defends his Heritage Cup title against Tyler Bate. Nathan Fraser was actually a champion, but still. And Mustafa Ali versus Axiom. That's the only 4 matches made so far. But that is NXT. And then we'll head over to Wednesday, August 2nd. We'll kick it off with New Japan Pro Wrestling's G1 Climax Night 12. So this is C and D block. This is the second to last block action. So we kick it off with D block, champ first champion, strong openweight tag champ, Alex Coughlin defeating never openweight 6-man tag champ, Hiroshi Tanahashi, 8 minutes and 50 seconds via jackhammer. And C block, Mikey Nichols gets the win over Evil, 9 minutes and 40 seconds via roll up. In D block, Toriano for Shane Hayes. Shane Hayes must win or mathematically eliminate, and that's what Toriano did. He mathematically eliminates Shane Hayes at 6 minutes and 9 seconds via roll up. Then back to C block, Hinari gets the win over number openweight 6-man tag champ Tomohiro Ishii, 14 minutes and 29 seconds via Streets of Rage. Then D block, Hiroki Goto must win or he's mathematically eliminated, but Goto is safe as he defeats Jeff Cobb 11 minutes and 33 seconds via GTR. And then a non-title C block action, strong openweight champion Eddie Kingston defeating Tama Tonga 11 minutes and 39 seconds via Norlight's Bomb. Final D block match of the show, non-title. Tucino gets to win over television champ Zack Sabre Jr. 18.5 minutes via Inside Cradle. And the main event from C block, non-title. Shingo Takagi must win to keep his hopes and core followers alive. As he does, he gets to win over number openweight champ David Finlay. 18 minutes 45 seconds via Last of the Dragon. So here's the C and D scores after night 12. First place, never openweight champ David Finlay and strong openweight champion Eddie Kingston, along with Evil, all-time 8 points, 4 wins, 2 losses. Second place, Tomotonga Shingo Takagi tied with 7 points, 3 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. Third place, Aaron Hart and Mikey Nichols have 4 points, 2 wins, 4. They're both eliminated. In last place, never openweight 6-man tag champ Tomohiro Ishii have 2 points, 1 win, 5 losses. He's also mathematically eliminated. So basically, final C block that'll be next Wednesday, August 8th. I believe. And then D block, television Tyson Roger, Jeff Cobbs, all time 8 points, 4 wins, 2 losses. Sorry, they'll meet next Tuesday, August 8th is C block. Wednesday, August 9th is the final D block action. And in second place, number openweight 6-man tag champ Hiroshi Tanahashi, IWGP tag champ Hiroko have 6 points, 3 wins, 3 losses. And in last place, all 3 of these men have been mathematically eliminated. Strong openweight tag team champ Alex Coughlin, Shane Hayes, Toriano have 4 points, 2 wins, 4 losses. So final C block, sorry, it is Tuesday, August 8th. And then Wednesday, August 9th is the final D block. So basically by next Wednesday, we would know who's going to be in the quarterfinals. But after this, so after Saturday, we would know the second place A block winner. And after this Sunday, we'll find out the 2 B block winners, which I'll talk about on Sunday show for the B block shows. But that is New Japan. And we'll go to AEW Dynamite. So we had Chris Jericho and Konosuke Takeshita defeating Jericho, Chris Jericho, Steel Gonzalez, David Guevara, 12 minutes, 21 seconds. Anything goes triple threat match. Trent Beretta defeating John Moxley and Pentagon Jr., 12 minutes and 28 seconds. Trios action. D-Elite, Kenny Omega, Matt and Nick Jackson defeating Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, and Adam Singh at 9 minutes for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis retains over El Hijo de Vikingo in Commander, 9 minutes, 51 seconds. In the main event for the women's title, Hikaru Shida defeating the champion Toni Storm to win the title for the second time at 13 minutes and 16 seconds. So that was AEW. And then we'll head over to Thursday, August 3rd. So we will kick it off with Dragon Gate's King of Gates tournament. This is the semifinals and finals on the same night. So the first of 2 semifinal matches, non-title. Big Boss Shimoshi defeat opener Dragon Gate Jim Madoka Kitayuta via shot put slam, 16 minutes and 37 seconds. In the other semifinal match, open the Triangle Gate Jim Kota Minoru defeating Hayo via Golden Rose, 11 minutes and 21 seconds. He will face Big Boss Shimoshi in the main event at the finals. 6-man tag team match with MDUK's open the 20 Gate Champions Shimoshi Mochizuki and Yoshi Kanda, along with Mochizuki Jr. versus C. Bratz's open the Brave Gate Champion Ishin, Kai, and Shun Skywalker ends the double countout, 9 minutes and 55 seconds. 8-man tag team match with Gold Class, 2/3 of the Open Triangle Gate Champions, Naruki Doi Miniora, along with Ben K and BB Hulk, defeating Dragon Kid, Punch Tamanaga, Yoshiki Kato, and Daki Yanaguchi via Cheeky Powerbomb on Yanaguchi, 9 minutes and 50 seconds. In tag team match with Misaki Moshiki and Don Fuji defeating Suchi Kondo, Takashi Yoshida via Ghetto Clutch on Yoshida, 6 minutes and 29 seconds. In 10-man tag team match with D. Kurch, Yuki Yoshioka, and Dragon Dia, teaming up with Yamano, Keiichiro, and Ito, defeating Strong Machine J, Jason Lee, Jackie Funky Kamei, Kazi, and UT of Natural Vibes, Vicky Alera, on Kamei, 9 minutes and 19 seconds. In the main event, the finals of the 2023 King Gate tournament. And your winner of the tournament is the Open the Triangle Gate Jim Kota Minoru. He defeats Big Boss Musu, 14 minutes and 34 seconds via Golden Rose. So he will get a shot at the Open the Dragon Gate title on August 20th, Dangerous Gate. So that was Dragon Gate. And we go to Big Japan Pro Wrestling's show at Shikiba First Ring. That is in Tokyo, Japan. So we can go with Yoko Yamamoto defeating Kankoro Hashimoto via G-Shock, 6 minutes, 49 seconds. Tag match with one half of the Big Japan Tag Champs Dakota Nomura teams with the World Strong Heavyweight Champion Yu Oyagi defeating So Daimoji and Kazumasa Yoshida via Run Sakaball Kick, 10 minutes, 51 seconds. Tag team match in Kazuki Hashimoto and Suzuki Nagato defeating Kota Sugifuda and Yuki Toge via ankle lock, 9 minutes and 37 seconds. In tag match in Tristan Archer and Shihiro Iri defeating Sasaki Sakimoto and Yasufumi Nakayino via cup to 8 minutes 56 seconds. Tag team match with Yokohama Shopping Street 6-man tag champion Yasushi Kamatani and Daiji Hashimoto defeated fellow Yokohama Shopping Street 6-man tag champs Deathmatch Champ Yuki Ishikawa and Kasumi Kitayuta via backdrop, 10 minutes and 12 seconds. In the main event in a tag team light tube match, Abdullah Kobashi and Ryu Ito defeat Masa Takada and Takafumi Tatsuya Model via Dragon Splash, 13 minutes and 50 seconds. So that was Big Japan Pro Wrestling. Then we go over to WWE's main event. So we had Dana Brooke defeating Xia Li and Bronson Reed defeating Apollo Crews. So that was WWE. Then we go to Ring of Honor, episode 23. And the first of two semifinal matches on the number one contenders tournament for the TV title. Shane Taylor defeating Christopher Daniel, 6 minutes 39 seconds. For the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles, the champions Aussie Open defeating the Iron Savages, Boulder and Bronson to retain at 9 minutes 27 seconds. This is by the first of 3 title matches. Second title match, Kishiro Shibata retains the pure title over Josh Woods, 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Don Castle defeating Zach Lane, 3 minutes 53 seconds. Tag team match, Dean Ferry, Kari Brown, Sean Dean defeating George Joel and Nick Camarado, 4 minutes and 34 seconds. Leo Hirsch defeating Miranda Fenoy, 3 minutes 21 seconds. And our other semifinal match of the number one contenders tournament, Gravity defeating Tony Nese, 5 minutes 35 seconds. So he will face Shane Taylor in the finals. And our third and final title match of the show, Athena retains the women's title, Dean Monte, 9 minutes and 16 seconds. 2/3 of the 6-man tag champs get to Agony, Khan, and Toya Leona, defeating Brandon and Brent Take the Boys, 4 minutes and 19 seconds. Cole Carr defeating LSG, 3 minutes and 1 second. Rubber Renegade defeating Christina Marie, 3 minutes and 56 seconds. In the main event, El Hijo de Vikingo, Teams of Commander defeating the Workhorsemen, Anthony Henry and Jay Drake at 8 minutes. That was Ring of Honor. And then we'll go to Impact Wrestling. So on before the Impact, just Shaw defeating Heather Reckless, 9 minutes and 7 seconds. So the actual show, we kick it off with the Coven, Kylan Kane Taylor Wall defeating Knockout Shane Trini and Deanna Prasso, 10 minutes and 13 seconds. Heath defeating Alan Angel, 6 minutes and 17 seconds. Jake Sumford defeating D.A.V. Vega, 2 minutes and 33 seconds. For the digital media title in a triple threat match, Kenny King retains over Joe Hendry and Yuya Mora, 7 minutes and 46 seconds. And the main event, a semifinal match of the number one contenders tournament for the Impact World Tag Team titles, the Rascals, Trey McGraw and Zachary Wentz, defeating Jonathan Gresham and Mike Bailey in 11 minutes and 11 seconds. So next week, only 2 matches made official. Alicia Edwards versus Jody Threat. And the other semifinal match of the number one contenders tournament, ABC, Ace Loss of Chris Bay versus Stephen Cowan and Rich Swan. The winners will meet Rascal in the finals. And the winner of this tournament will meet the champion Self Culture at Emergence for the titles. So that was Impact Wrestling. And then we'll go to Wrestling Revolvers, Heat 'em Up. So we kick off with Chris Sabin to be Matt Slimish, 10 minutes 27 seconds. Ali Catchman, Rachel Armstrong, 8 minutes 28 seconds. Zachary Wentz to be Mara Reed, 6 minutes and 33 seconds. The World Tag Titles on the line in a 6-man tag team match. Champions, second gear crew, one common manners, Miss Warren, Matthew Justice, retains over Alpha Sigma Sigma, Brent Oakley, Casey Jacobs on the pledge, 13 minutes and 40 seconds. Jessica defeat Maxine Paler, 8 minutes and 2 seconds. In a Lucha Street Fight, Kenosuke Takeshita substituting for John Moxley, defeating Greg Loco, 13 minutes and 39 seconds. For the remix title in a fatal 6-way match, Alex Shelley retains over Ace Austin, Billy Starks, Crash Jackson, Damian Chambers, and Jordan Oliver, 17 minutes and 27 seconds. In the main for the Revolver World title, champion Jake Chris defeat Matt Cardona to retain a title of 12 minutes and 43 seconds. And to close out this week's show, we'll go to MLW Fusion. We had Alice Kane defeat Delirious, 9 minutes 35 seconds. In the main event, Jack Carwell, Mrs. Jr., and Willie Mack defeating Donna Malco, General R.A. and Excalibur, 13 minutes and 33 seconds. So that is the shows for this. That is the show for this week, guys. I'm your host, James Black. Have a good weekend, guys. I'll be back on Sunday with the shows from Friday for Sunday. Like I said, have a good weekend. Stay safe and enjoy it.